Hey, what's going on? It's Randy Wolfe. So what exactly is real estate investing? Well, real estate investing has created more millionaires than any other industry in history. But again, what exactly is it? So today I'm going to break down what it is, the different types, the benefits, and how you can get started even if you've never invested before. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what real estate investing is, which type might fit you best, and the step-by-step actions to take to start building wealth. Whether you want a cash flow, appreciation, or passive income, it's all going to be in here on this video. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I put out content about real estate investing every single week. So check that out. Be sure to subscribe. And if you like this video, you can certainly click like as well. So what is real estate investing? At its core, real estate investing means buying, owning, managing, renting, or selling real estate for a profit. Real estate can be residential, it can be commercial, it can be industrial, it can be land. And unlike stocks or crypto, real estate is an actual tangible asset that you can touch, you can improve it, and one of the cool things is you can control its value as well. For example, if you buy, let's say, like a single family home, you rent it out, and you make $300 a month after all the expenses have been paid, that's real estate investing in action. Now, before you think real estate is just about buying houses, there are actually several different ways that you can invest, and some don't even require you to own the property at all. So first up, something you've probably all heard of is rental properties. You buy and hold for steady monthly income. Now these can be in the form of single family homes, multifamily buildings, or it could even be vacation rentals. And the goal is long-term cash flow and appreciation whenever you're investing in rental properties. This is like how you really build substantial wealth over a period of time. If you're looking for more today money, then the next method might be a better fit, and that is house flipping. This is where you go in and you buy low. You typically are going to renovate these properties and you're going to sell them high. Now, house flipping does require some things like capital. It requires market knowledge. It requires speed. You've got to manage contractors, all of those things I talk about on this channel. It's a lot higher risk, but potentially higher reward on the short term. If you're looking to kind of leave your job, for example, and just focus on investing in real estate full time, house flipping is a really good way to get started. And there's also another way you can get started if you don't have a lot of capital, if you don't really understand the whole renovating and flipping and all of that stuff, then you can actually get into the third form, which is called wholesaling. Now with wholesaling, you find the deal and you sell the actual contract to another investor for a fee. This fee is called an assignment fee. And you actually don't even own the property. This is something that is kind of crazy when you think about being able to make money in real estate without actually owning the property. You don't have to own it. This is oftentimes a really good way to get started for beginners who don't have a lot of capital. I mean, the thing about it is you've got to be good, as I talk about in other videos, at marketing and finding deals. And that's oftentimes one of the toughest things to do. But again, it's a great opportunity to get started investing in real estate, particularly if you don't have a lot of capital. The fourth way you can invest in real estate, or one of the other strategies, is what's called REITs. That stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, REITs, REITs. And basically with this, you buy shares in a company that owns income producing real estate. It's completely passive. There's no property management. There's no headaches. It's easy as far as the entry point for those who want more hands-off investing. And so it is kind of similar to stock market. You're not, in my opinion, you're not going to get the kind of returns that you're going to get in actual owning real estate as rentals or flipping properties, that sort of thing. But it is extremely hands-off. It's completely passive, and you don't have to deal with tenants, toilets, or any of that chaos. Another method that you can use is short-term rentals. Short-term rentals kind of falls into that buy and hold method like long-term rentals, except as you can imagine, it's shorter term. This is a lot higher potential in income than just traditional rentals because they're going to pay a lot more. But key thing you need to understand is the higher that income, that means the more management that's required. And so you're going to have to manage the property a lot more. You're going to have to almost run it like a business, which you really should be running rentals like a business anyway. Or you can even hire like a co-host or a manager that can help you out. When it comes to short-term rentals, location and local regulations matter a ton. There's a lot of these that are getting shut down across the country. Different municipalities are no longer allowing short-term rentals, so you have to really, really be on your A game to know whether or not that is allowed. Another way that you can invest in real estate is actually being a private money lender. So I work with private money lenders. When I buy deals, I have private money lenders that actually fund the deals for me, and I pay them a set rate of return. So if you want to not have to deal with the active aspect of investing in real estate, but you want to be able to get passive income, being a private money lender is a great way to do that. Obviously, that means you have to have money, but you can use things like your self-directed IRA, or things like that, or even like a solo, self-directed solo 401k, those sort of things to invest. So that's a pretty neat way to do it. And then the last way, this is kind of a bonus way, but also is syndications and funds. So you can invest in a syndication or fund, and that again is totally passive, but you completely are hands off. You don't have any control when you do that. And again, that is a very, very passive way to invest. But typically though, in order to do that, most of them are going to require, in order for you to invest in those, that you meet a certain criteria as far as income or assets in order to be able to participate in those. And here's the thing, no matter which type you choose, the benefits go way beyond just collecting rent checks. All right, so what are the benefits of real estate investing? I'm going to talk for a second about actually when you own the property. So we're not talking about necessarily like private money lending or REITs or anything like that. We're going to talk about when you actually buy a property and, for example, you keep it as a rental or a short-term rental, that sort of thing. So the number one thing is cash flow. This is monthly income after all of your expenses. This is predictable and can increase over time as you increase rent over time, because typically we've seen across the country historically, every year rent typically goes up a little bit. It can go up and down a little bit per se in different market fluctuations, but historically the trend is it goes up over time. Another benefit of real estate investing is appreciation. So property values typically do increase over time. Again, kind of like the rent, they can fluctuate a little bit, but historically speaking, property values go up over time. And this is accelerated when you go in and you can actually like renovate properties, or you can buy in growth markets that are appreciating at a rapid pace. And so that is something that is a huge advantage of investing in real estate. Another big advantage is taxes. You get a lot of tax advantages investing in real estate, particularly buy and hold real estate. So you get to deduct mortgage interest, property taxes, repairs, and you get to depreciate properties, which can be huge if you accelerate depreciation on the front end. There's also the potential to pay little or no taxes on your real estate income. And if you're a real estate professional status, if you have real estate professional status, which I won't get into that on this video, that's huge, because then you can actually offset some of your active income as well. Another advantage of investing in real estate is leverage. You get to use other people's money, like banks or actually individuals, to buy more assets, and this increases your returns if it's done wisely. Real estate is also a great hedge against inflation. So rents and property values tend to rise as inflation goes up, and your fixed mortgage costs typically will stay the same, which boosts your overall profit. Now, of course, things like property taxes and insurance, we've seen those go up as well. But if you have mortgage, if you have debt on a property and it's fixed, then that's going to stay the same. So as that stays the same and your rent goes up and you have property values going up, then that's a good thing. All right, so now we know what it is, the types and the benefits, but the big question is, how do you actually get started? There's a few steps to get started. Number one, educate yourself, and watching videos just like this, which, by the way, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe and like this video. But watching videos like this is a great way to get educated. There's also local real estate meetups in your area, so I encourage you to check those out. I encourage you to read books. There's a lot of great books on real estate investing out there. Another thing is, I would strongly encourage you to get educated while you are taking action. So we have a private community that a lot of new and inspiring investors are in. I'll put the link in the description below. You can definitely check that out. And people in our private community community are talking with one another. They're getting mentorship from me, and they are taking action. And so you want to make sure that you're educated, you learn your numbers, you learn cash flow, ROI, you have knowledge about your first investment that you're going to be focusing on, like what type of investment, that sort of thing. And then you're going to choose your strategy. That's step 2, is make sure you pick one type when you start out. Are you going to do rentals? Are you going to do flips? Are you going to do wholesale? Whatever you're going to choose, it needs to be based on your goals, your time, and your budget. I have another video on the channel that really talks about how you should go about picking your strategy. Don't try to master all at one. I talk about on the channel, I had my first deal that I did, I was supposed to be a flip. I had to pivot and it became a rental. But when you're actually going after something, like kind of have a set plan to get started, and then you can always expand into other types of investing. Number 3, I'm going to go over this quick. Just pick your market. You need to have a good, solid market. Research growing cities. Look for job growth, population growth, and rental demand. Step 4 is to build your team. So what do I mean by building your team? I mean realtors, lenders, contractors, property managers. Relationships make scaling a whole heck of a lot easier. So you definitely want to build a solid team. And as I said earlier, take action. That's really step 5, but that should be very, very soon in the process. Start small, learn the processes, refine your systems as you go, get educated while you're taking action. And, I'll tell you, your first deal teaches you more than any book you're going to read. You just got to jump in and get after it and take action. Remember, your first property isn't the finish line. It's the starting line for building lasting wealth. Remember, the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time to start, well, that's right now. So let's get you moving towards financial freedom. As always, I appreciate you watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.